Yes. Today concept name is dynamic handling file system concept. Today concept name is dynamic handling file system concept. Very, very important concept, easy concept, that is dynamic handling file system concept.
Mhm.
Today concept is dynamic handling file system. So what is dynamic handling file system? Before going to dynamic handling file system, first of all, we should know flat file. Flat file means it doesn't have any predefined format.
Mhm.
It doesn't have any predefined format. That's the reason we can say flat file. Flat file means it doesn't have any predefined format. So for example,
Mhm.
notepad test document. So whatever you want, you can write it. There is no restrictions. There is no rules. Whatever you want, you can write it. So that's the reason we can say flat file. Flat file means it doesn't have any predefined format. Whatever you want, you can write it. So
Mhm.
next, today concept is dynamic handling file system. What is dynamic handling file system concept? Okay. If you want to create a, if you want to create a new file in file system, if you want to create a new file in file system, comma, if you want, if you want to write the data into the file in file system, if you want to read the data from file in file system,
Mhm.
we will use file system concept. If you want to create a new
So
file in
do
file system, if you want to write the data into the file in file system, if you want to read the data from file in file system, we will use file system concept. Very, very important concept. Without going to D drive or
do
E
we
drive,
use this?
huh?
Mhm. So, so do we use this file system in
This logic we will use in
Selenium?
Selenium. We will use this logic. We will use this logic in Selenium. So without going to D drive or E drive, we can create a new file in file system. We can write the data into the file. We can get the data from file. That is the file system concept main aim. Okay, here we will use
Mhm.
5 predefined classes. For that, if you want to create a new file in file system, if you want to write the data into the file system, if you want to get the data from file system, we will use file system concept. So if you want to perform these tasks compulsory, we need to use 5 predefined classes. So Java is giving 5 predefined classes. One is file, second one is file writer, buffer writer, file reader, buffer reader. Okay.
So this is only for flat files, right?
Yes,
No,
only
no
about
the
flat
Excel.
files. Only flat files. We can create a file in file system, we can write the data into the system, we can get the data from the system. That is file system concept use. So here we will use 5 predefined classes. First one, file is used for create a new file in file system. File, here we are using 5 predefined classes. First one, file is used for we can create a new file in file system. Next, file writer, we can write the data into the file. We can write the data into the file. Buffer writer,
Mhm.
if you write only file writer, we can't write the data into the file system. If you use only
Mhm.
file writer, we can't write the data into the file system. Compulsory, we need to take the reference of buffer writer. Then only we can able to write the data into the file system. That is the logic. Next, file reader. So if you want to read the data from file system, we will use file reader. Only if you use file reader, we can't read the data from file system. Compulsory, we need to take the reference of buffer reader. Then only we can able to get the data from file system. So here you need to remember only logic. File writer, we can't write the data into the file system. Compulsory with the reference of buffer writer only we can write the data into the file system. File reader, if
Mm-hmm.
you use only file reader, we can't read the data from file system. Compulsory we need to take the reference of buffer reader. Then only we can able to get the data from file system.
Okay.
So without going to D drive or E drive, create the we can create the file and we can write the data and we can get the data.
Mm-hmm.
Now go to SRC, take the new class. Class name is
This is becoming more difficult. I'm feeling very scared if I'll be able to do it.
just you need to practice better. Today I will teach you only this concept. After that you need to practice. Then only I can start the next class. File.
Mm,
I'm taking class name is file. Why? Because file. If I take file, it will Java will feel confused. Why? Because file is a free defined class. That is the reason every time whenever I'm taking class, I'm taking spell mistakes. So I'm taking file.
okay.
You can finish. Now, very easy concept to simple concept to file f equal to new file. File f equal to new file.
Mm-hmm.
I'm giving path d colon I forgot, huh? Akki dot text txt. They dot create new file.
There is an error message for that syntax.
We can create the new file in file system.
Mm-hmm.
Next, file writer. Reference name fw equal to new file writer. Just give the path.
Okay.
Okay. If you write only file writer, we can't write the data into the file system. Compulsory, we need
Mm-hmm.
to take the reference of
Buffer.
buffer writer bw equal to new buffered writer fw. Only for this logic. fw. Only for this logic, we are learning this concept that is dynamic calling file system. So if you write only file
Mm-hmm.
writer, we can't write the data into the file system. So we need to take the reference of buffer writer. Buffer writer bw equal new buffer writer fw. I'm writing that file writer reference here. So if you want to write
Mm-hmm.
anything, bw dot or write hi madam bw dot new line. I want to write in new line. But the pin to this code
The yeah.
bw dot new line
So new line will be the next line.
bw dot new line next line.
Mm-hmm.
Next bw dot new line bw dot write by madam. All right. Next we can write bw dot flush. Flush is used for it can hold the data. Flush. It can hold the data. It can hold the data. It can hold the data. Otherwise, it cannot hold the data. Without flush, we can't hold that file. Can't hold the data. That file can't hold the data. File writer. File writer. Change to file writer. File writer. Buffered writer. After writing the code, it is showing exceptions. Errors. It is showing errors. This is called exceptions. Always we will use whenever getting like this. Just keep the cursor. It will come one message. Add throws declaration. Click on enter. So that is throws. Yesterday we discussed throws is used for automatically it can throws the all the exceptions at a time. That is the throws use. Okay, it can handle the hundreds of exceptions at a time. Right. We brought data, and if you want to click run, it will create new file in D colon. That colon Aki. Click on run and go and check in D colon Aki. Hi, madam. Good morning, madam. Bye, madam. Right. Now I want to get the data. I don't want to go to D drive and I don't want to check. I want to get the data. So simply we can write file reader fr called new file reader path of the file. Only if you write file reader, we can't read the data from file system. So compulsory we need to write buffer reader. Buffered reader fr equal to new buffered reader fr. Same logic. So where exactly we will use boolean, madam?
For true and false.
Okay. Data
If
is
you want
available
to
or
test
not.
it.
In D colon key text file, having data or not, I want to
Mhm.
check. So here I'm using boolean. Here is no need, but just for general knowledge purpose. Boolean var equal to br dot ready br dot ready so control space var data available or not, it will check. So data available or not, file reader, file reader, file reader, file reader, file reader, file reader, buffer reader, buffer reader, buffer reader. Data is available or not, it will check. Save, click on run. Yes, data is available. So I want to get the data. So how to get the data? How to get the data? While loop I am writing. How many lines of code I that file having I don't know. So while we are dot ready loop started. Keep the bracket. I'm storing in string s equal to br dot read line sy control space. Yes. So if it is data boolean here, I'm writing if it is data available or not check. So here
Mhm.
boolean if it is data available it will give true otherwise it will give false. That is the use of boolean. Next here I'm writing while loop. Br dot ready. If it is data available, read it. String s equal to br dot read line. I'm storing an s string. So print the string. System dot out dot println s. So we can get the data from file.
So
True. Hi
now
madam.
this data is okay. It's a string value only, okay, characters. So what if it is integer? Then also we'll be writing string only, or
Yes, if it
we'll
is
have
multiple,
to.
yes, yes, string only.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, that is the concept to dynamic handling file system concept to practice yesterday session, today session. I will send you, and if you after practice only we can continue the class. Compulsory. Exception handling and this class. Exception handling is very concept is very logical concept. Just once you need to practice, madam. Please, madam. Cooperate, madam. All right.
Yes, yes.
Record mode. I am
And
stopping.